Hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to take a moment to share with you the story of the first Seder that my wife and I made together. Thank God, I think it was 19 years ago. We were a very young couple. I had gone to be the rabbi of a small shul in Bethesda, sort of like a quasi outreach shul, and we had been married 2 years. Gone to our both of our parents for the first 2 years of Pesach. And here we were 23 years old, and we understood it was part of the job. We were going to have to make Pesach for the first time. And it was daunting, and we thought about it, and we decided we were going to make it really meaningful. And of course, one way that we would make it really meaningful is we would have all of these guests for the Seder. We were rabbi and rebbitzin of a shul of people of varying backgrounds, varying levels of knowledge of Judaism, connectivity to Judaism. This was going to be great. And however many weeks before Pesach, probably even before Purim, maybe right after Purim, I started making phone calls. And the bottom line is the membership of the shul, though coming from different backgrounds, were really extremely traditional, and everybody had plans for the Seder, and everyone had, whether it be family or friends, they had people they would get together with every year for the Seder. And so David and Atara Rosenbaum, in their first year of making Pesach, and the whole reason they were making Pesach was to make this great impact on their shul, we had no guests for our first Seder. The second Seder, we had like a couple guests, but the first Seder was just the two of us. And I must say it was very deflating when we were thinking about coming into that Pesach. We were both used to being, thank God, at large family tables for the Starim. It was just going to be the two of us. And we decided to make the best of it. Of course, it was a lot of work to get Pesach ready in the home. We decided to make the best of it. And I went to the local bookstore and I picked up two very interesting looking Haggadahs. And each of us with one Haggadah at the Seder, and we kept on switching off, and we didn't have to keep anybody entertained. It was just two of us, and we kept on switching off, finding nice ideas, sharing, reading a little bit together, and then switching off who would read a commentary from their Haggadah. We had a lot of beautiful discussion, and though Baruch Hashem, we've had the schus to have many, many wonderful starim in subsequent years. My wife and I still look back to that Seder. It happened to be the first Seder we made together, but in certain respects, it was the most special Seder we've made together. And I mentioned that because I know it's daunting. I'm sure there's a lot of people in this WhatsApp group who are looking at making Pesach for the first time, leading a Seder for the first time. And the first demographic I want to address are the couples. I want to tell you, you can really make it special. You can really, really make it special in your own way. You don't have to impress anybody. It's just doing it in a way that resonates with you. And like I said, we remember that Seder very well almost 20 years later. And now I want to speak for a moment about, if I may, what I think is even more challenging, which is there are numerous people in our community, numerous singles in our community, who are looking at making the Seder by themselves. And that's really, really hard to think about. And however challenging it is for anyone to make Pesach, however challenging it is for anyone to make a Seder for the first time, to be an individual making a Seder is a very hard thing to think about. And I just want to share with you a thought that I saw from a Revolba this week. We say in the Haggadah, Mitchila ovdei avodah zarah hayavoseinu b'Mitzrayim. Originally, our forefathers were idol worshippers. V'achshav kervanu hamakom la'avodaso. And now God has brought us close to His service. And Revolba asks, what do you mean now? Now? The year 5780 in Silver Spring, Maryland? That's what you mean now? God chose the Jewish people as His nation over 3,000 years ago. It's not that now God brought us close to His service. It's then God brought us close to His service. Of course, the stand-up shot is we mean now, meaning when God took us out of Egypt and we're reliving that moment. But Revolba has a different thought. And Ravova says that any person who sits at the Seder and really plugs into the ideas of the moment and really reflects, there's a unique power in that night that if we really apply ourselves and if we really think and if we really care, the same way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu took the Jewish people, Kaviyachol, by the hand that 15th of Nisan night over 3,000 years ago, and at that moment made the Jewish people his and made the Jewish people close to him, it could be true for any of us today. And in a sense, the people who are in the best position, though it's going to be really hard, I know it'll be really hard, to really have the Seder be literally a life-changing experience, are the people sitting by themselves who can really just sit and think about the world and think about their lives and think about how HaKadosh Baruch Hu fits with it. And I really just want to wish everyone, I know Rabbi Silver is going to be having a review session for how to run a Seder, which I think is great. That's coming Sunday night, I believe. But I really just want to urge everyone, it'll be a lot of work, it'll be daunting, but there's so much potential. There's so much potential in this very holy night. And God willing, you'll have a wonderful experience and you'll remember it for many, many years to come. Take good care.